Stefani is facing backlash for insisting that she is a Japanese woman in a recent interview. To be clear, Gwen has no ethnic ties to Japan. Her father is Italian American and her mother is Irish American. Gwen spoke to Allure magazine about her past controversial Harajuku lovers collection in 2004. The reporter who interviewed Gwen is not Japanese, but she is an Asian American woman. She says Gwen said, quote, "My God, I'm Japanese and I didn't know it." The writer says, as those words seemed to hang in the air between us, she continued, "I am, you know." She then explained that there is innocence to her relationship with Japanese culture, referring to herself as a super fan. Gwen says, "If people are going to criticize me for being a fan of something beautiful and sharing that, then I just think that doesn't feel right. I think it was a beautiful time of creativity, a time of the ping pong match between Harajuku culture and American culture. It should be okay to be inspired by other cultures because if we're not allowed, then that's dividing people, right?" The writer Jessa Marie Calor says, "Like Stefani, I am not Japanese, but I am an Asian woman living in America," which comes with sobering realities during a time of heightened Asian American and Pacific Islander hate. "I'm a woman who has been called racial slurs because of her appearance, feared for her father's safety as he traveled with her on New York City subways, and boiled with anger as grandparents were being attacked and killed because they were Asian. I envy anyone who can claim to be part of this vibrant creative community, but avoid the part of the narrative that can be painful or scary." The writer says that in the 32 minutes she spent with Gwen Stefani, she repeatedly insisted that she is Japanese. She says she's a little bit of an Orange County girl, a little bit of a Japanese girl, and a little bit of an English girl. Allure later asked Gwen Stefani's team for an on-the-record comment or clarification of the remarks, but they declined to provide a statement or participate in a follow-up interview. The writer says that she doesn't believe Gwen was trying to be malicious or hurtful in making those statements, but words don't have to be hostile in their intent in order to potentially cause harm. Gwen Stefani also told the writer that she not only identifies with Japanese culture, she also identifies with the Hispanic and Latinx communities of Anaheim, where she grew up. She says the music, the way the girls wore their makeup, the clothes they wore, that was my identity. Even though I'm an Italian American, Irish, or whatever mutt that I am, that's who I became because those were my people, right? But the writer asked the co-director of the Asian American Studies program at the University of Pennsylvania to help clarify, and they say, simply put, cultural appropriation is the use of one's group customs, material culture, or oral traditions by another group, and that it boils down to being an unequal power relationship. The reporter also talked to a therapist at Yellow Chair Collective. They say that a white person doesn't have to face the racism, prejudice, or discrimination that a Japanese, Mexican, or El Salvadorian person would have to face. They can put on those bits of culture sort of like a costume. We've had to fight to speak our languages at home and outside and say that our foods are good, and then to see people paint us simplistically, that feels really painful. As you can imagine, Twitter had a lot of reactions to this interview, and most of it was pretty negative. People are just downright shocked that Gwen Stefani would go so far as to say that repeatedly she is a Japanese woman. There is a fine line between admiring and respecting a culture and appropriating it.